So the first thing you want to do is just brush your brow hairs into place. I'm just using the spoolie portion of my brow pencil. And then I'm just going to spray my brush with some Fix Plus. You don't have to use Fix Plus, you can also just run it under water. But I'm actually going to do that before I dip it into my powder. And the powder that I'm using today is the Anastasia Brow Powder Duo. This is in the shade, I believe, brunette. It's called dark brown or brunette. And I'm actually using the darker shade in the duo here. So pretty much I'm just filling in the tails of my brows, and I'm making sure that they're darker. You always want your brows to fade from light to dark, so you want the front to be a little bit lighter and the tails to be darker. So that's why I'm not really putting too much more product as I move towards the front. I'm kind of leaving that area a little bit lighter. Now I'm moving on to the other brow, and I'm just doing the same exact thing. So I'm basically filling in the tails and making sure that there aren't any, spaces or areas that need to be filled in. And then again, you can see as I move towards the front, I'm not adding any more product. I'm just using what's already on the brush just to give it a little bit of a lighter feel. Now this is also where I switch products. So right now I'm using the NYX Micro Brow Pencil, and it's also very similar to the Anastasia Brow Wiz Eyebrow Pencil. But again, I'm just using this towards the front just so that it's not too harsh and it kind of fades and gives you that lighter effect. So I'm really using light wispy strokes. I kind of sped up this video so that it's not too long, but really I'm being very light-handed. I'm being a little bit harsher, you can tell, towards the tails just to fill it in because that area can be darker. And I'm also using this pencil to create an outline for my brows, so you can see the lines at the top and bottom that I'm creating. I'm still using light strokes, but again, this is just creating an outline. It's a little bit easier to do with the pencil than the brush, just so that I don't have to worry about it getting too dark. So that's pretty much my main concern when I'm doing my brows. When I have blonde hair, I just don't want my brows to be, extra harsh or extra dark. Now I'm just going in with the spoolie portion of the brow pencil, and I'm using this again to just fade the front of the brow. I know it's looking like I'm giving myself a unibrow, but by the time we finish everything, you won't be able to see that. So now I'm going to take my concealer, and this is MAC Select Cover Up, and this is the shade NC45. And I'm also using this brush. This brush is actually just from the beauty supply store, but I actually really like it. It's the brand JCat, and I think it's one of their shadow brushes, but it gives me like a precise line when I'm doing this part of my brows. So basically now I'm just outlining my brows with the concealer. So this is just cleaning up any mistakes and just giving you that clean, crisp look for your brows. So you need a really precise brush to make sure that you can get that perfect look when you're doing this part. And now I'm just bringing the concealer down, and now I'm going to take a blending brush. This is a MAC 224, and basically I'm just blending the concealer down into the lid space. That way you don't see exactly where it ends. You want everything to fade into the next, so I'm just blending that down. Then I'm going to do the same exact thing that I did to the bottom to the top. So I'm just outlining the top of that brow. And again, you want to take your blending brush and you're going to blend this upwards. So if you're giving yourself a full face, you don't really have to worry too much because you're going to put foundation there and that's going to cover that up. But if you're not going to wear too much makeup or any makeup at all, you really want to make sure that you're blending this into the rest of your forehead. And you even want to use maybe a shade darker than what I'm using here. You probably want to use something that's that matches your skin tone more. That way you don't just see concealer. But since I'm going to be doing a full face after this, I'm using the same shade on the top and the bottom. And this shade isn't too harsh for my skin tone. It's kind of perfect, so I'm able to use it at the top and the bottom. But sometimes if you're going a little bit lighter under the brow bone with your concealer, you want to use a shade that's darker towards the top of your brow, just so that it blends in with the rest of your foundation. And again, on this side, I'm doing the same exact thing. So I'm just outlining with the concealer. And this is also the part where they say, like, if you made any mistakes when you were filling in your brows, your concealer is pretty much your eraser, so you can go back in with this and kind of clean up any mistakes that you made. And again, just remember to bring that concealer down. And this concealer under your brow, it also gives you kind of that perfect highlight color. So when I am wearing eyeshadow, for the most part, I use this as my brow bone shade. I don't really put anything else up there because it gives me that perfect highlight. And then again, I'm just going to blend this out. Now I'm just going to go back in with my brow pencil, and I'm just going to redefine any areas that the concealer may have went over. So pretty much just the front portion of my brows and a little bit on the tails. Now I'm going to take the spoolie and I'm just going to fade out the front again. And I don't know, this is just a process of how I do everything. Then I'm going to take my blending brush and I'm going to go over that front, and you see that's what gives it that perfect fade. And that is it, guys. That is how I do my brows when I have blonde hair. I also have a tutorial for this look, so I'll leave the link in the description box below. And don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.